NuubCast.
Greetings, fellow noobs. Welcome back to another NuubCast. This is Blomus bringing you 1v1. We are in Bronze Land, baby. Bronze Land in a PvP on Daybreak between Driz T and All Souped Up. If you are unfamiliar, welcome aboard. We are all about shining the light of esports. That bright shining light where the sun don't shine. Right up your bum with the noobs. The noobs. This is as newbie as it gets, baby. We are in Bronze Land, as I previously stated. And I shall previously state once more. Bronze Land, but it's okay to be in Bronze Land because it allows us to highlight a particular aspect of NuubCast. And that aspect is we take for granted bad play. We take it for granted, and 9 times out of 10, we set it aside. Most of the time, unless your decision making is just utterly grievous, most of the time you're going to get away with bad play without too much of a negative commentary to make. Usually, I don't talk about builds. I don't talk about, the makeup of your army, etc. Like, every once in a while, those things will come up. Army composition we'll talk about because that's part of decision making. But that's really the biggest thing we deal with is decision making, because that's something that no matter what level you're playing at, it's something that is important to be able to talk about, and something that I think I can speak on somewhat. It doesn't matter what level you're on to be able to talk about decisions. I probably can't tell you what the best builds are because I don't know them, and I certainly can't do them, as we see Driz T trying to be all sneaky with his little probe. And I don't necessarily feel right about talking about build orders and things like that. Certainly not timings and the like. But decision making is something you can talk about at any level of play, and it's something that we will spend time, I will spend time talking about during these games, no matter what level we're looking at. So, but apart from that, All Souped Up has Driz T's probe caught, not even fighting back. He's laying back on his stomach like a submitted dog and allowing himself to be killed. And the first zealot is out for All Souped Up. And Driz T decided to wait for Stalker, and that's fine to do on this map because it is such a long time. It's going to take this zealot forever to get over there. So by the time he gets over there, he's going to be able to have a couple of Stalkers out probably. Or at least one. And of course, if you have any kind of control, Stalker can beat a zealot all day long. And is there a pylon down? Probe? No, there is not. He wasn't able to get it. He's going to search his own base for a pylon. He saw the probe, so let's look around. Zealot back at the tower. Hasn't charged in, so there's not going to be any kind of super early aggression. As we see Driz T going for that 3-gate robo. It's actually, yeah. Both players actually did 3-gate robo build. All Souped Up decided to add his second gas kind of late for this build. You see 2 guys in each gas geyser for Driz T. Not looking to go for a super high gas build just yet. He's going to need to add those once the robo is finished, and he wants to make immortals. He's going to need to add more probes to that gas. But yeah, as I was saying, game phase finished for both players. Here comes the first immortal as he added gas. No, he is that's one of the problems with doing the true probe build at lower levels is you forget often to put your 3 probes into your gas. And we'll see. We'll keep checking and see when and if he does that. But yeah, I don't like to focus on builds, but things like composition, decision making when you do things, those are all things that we focus on. And of course, we'll talk more about those things when you're watching bronze players play than we will when we're looking at diamond and masters players. But even still, we believe that in spite of those issues when you're dealing with lower level play, you can still have fun and exciting games, which is really what we're all about. We do a little bit of teaching when it's appropriate and when it's called. The only interaction we have at that level is deals with decision making, and it's our number one priority is entertainment. Entertainment, that's right. We want to keep you noobs happy and watching fun games. So, with that being the case, it's not always. Sometimes you can have fun and exciting games with really bad play, just for good battles. And of course, these things happen less and less at the bronze level because of where you are focused. And that's why bronze games are actually kind of rare here on NuubCast, because as it should be, bronze players are focused on things like macro. And if you're doing good macro, and that's where your focus is in games like this, you're generally not going to have aggressive games. You're not going to have games that are, that there's a lot of action going on. Sometimes in a PvP game, you just are dealing with nice. Oh, he's over there. Okay. Nice snipe with the observer. As you can see, All Souped Up does have supply lead. I'm gonna guess only a slight lead in probe, so his army lead is ahead. And Driz T getting Colossus out, and I don't think Souped Up is even close. No, he's not. And he's not expanding. Neither player expanding. He had 1 base versus 1 base. Driz T needing to drop more pylons. Wouldn't mind seeing him drop more at home. And he's starting to get that thermal lance. More zealots here for Driz T. So depending on how things go, neither player has any sentries. A couple sentries in the mix. Now, again, we're dealing with bronze players, so if you add sentries, it means you're going to have to be dealing more with micro, because you're going to need to be able to place force fields. And that is probably the single hardest thing to do is craft good force fields. It takes a lot of practice. That's definitely the hardest stuff to do. And army positioning within battle is really important too, something you need to learn early on in your games. And as we're seeing, Driz T is doing it, not doing it nearly as well as his opponent here. Also, has some stalkers out front. He lowers his back. Not going to have any time to attack the zealots. Got to be out front. Red here, a little bit more zealots. Now he got 3 of those out here. And no matter how many zealots you have, you have that escape. Not a good aspect. But you have supply block, but he's already got his first Colossus out. And wow, we've got 5 gates and a robo on 1 base, and not a fully saturated 1 base at that. Let's see. We've got only 13, and finally we do have 3 guys on each side of gas. This counterattack could really be the end for All Souped Up. Gonna have some serious control of this Colossus if Driz T hopes to hold this off. But with this observer here, he really should see that this is the end. The second Colossus is coming out. Does he not have his whole army over here? He's left some behind, which I don't understand. theoretically, All Souped Up should be able to push in and win this if he focuses down the Colossus with his Immortals. It should be an pretty easy win for All Souped Up. But if Driz T can get his Zealots on the front, he does have full lance. This is going to be oh no, he's got the Immortals out front. What's going on? Why are you shooting at that? That was terrible. You could have killed so many more units. And now Driz T actually chasing All Souped Up down. Did he bring a probe with him to plant that pylon? No, it's coming from behind here. And now there is a pylon over here as well, so Driz T's going to have to be wary of a counter. The other Colossus as well. Not a bad idea to separate forces here. All Souped Up not taking advantage of the advantage he had early on. All Souped Up able to respond and doesn't see these units over here. And now we've got 2 observers over here. So All Souped Up able to see everything that's going on here. Still only 1 Colossus. We have a second Colossus on the way. Taking his whole army over to kill a pylon is a bad idea. Send one Zealot. Now we've got the counterattack going. Did I see Phoenix to kill the Colossus, I guess? Zealots are Zealots are very good against Immortals. Now we have 2 Colossus again for Driz T. If you take a look at Driz T's hotkeys, again, this is something you see in Bronze. He does not have any of his army on a hotkey, and you really need to hotkey your units together, even if you're just going to move them around the map. Definitely necessary, but here also All Souped Up still with the supply lead, and he does have an expansion, so he should be able to make more units and should really be able to dominate. Driz moving in and moving without all of his units together, and that's a huge mistake. He doesn't have his second Colossus all by himself over here, way in harm's way. And the Zealots are good. The Zealots are going to be very good for Driz T against this all-stalker army. Do we have any more Immortals now? We do, a couple, and Phoenix as well. I'm not sure I agree with the Phoenix build, but Driz T's got to do something. He's going to be supply blocked again. He's going to have to make some more probes and some more stalkers. This is going to be too many Phoenix for these. Well, now it's 5, so now they should be able to handle it. And this is where composition, we talked about composition, and this is a situation where knowing what compositions work is going to be extremely, extremely helpful. Driz T making a few stalkers to help. These 3 Colossus combined with these Zealots is going to be enough, even though he's way behind. If we check Control 8 up here, army supply is even. Actually, Driz T even has a slight lead here. So worker supply, we've got 46 probes and 13 probes. Holy crap, what the heck is this? Alright, so now we see what's happening here. Phoenix back here, lifting up. But the problem is that all of these Zealots combined with these 3 more than enough to take down very quickly. Driz T, in spite of not necessarily having better play, I would say if trump better play often, and it does all the time in the lower leagues. If you make better decisions, Driz T going for the Colossus, even though it was on one base, he did get a plus attack upgrade. He never expanded though. I mean, there's so many bad things we can say about what Driz T did. He stopped making probes. At a certain point, he had too many gateways in his robo for his one base build. He spent money okay, not that great. As you can see, he's got quite a bit of gas left up here. He never expanded. But sometimes that kind of thing works out. If you're, what I would have to say about All Souped Up is, with the Colossus build, going Phoenix, making that decision was his mistake. He could have dropped a second robo, made all Immortals, and he probably would have come out on top and been able to focus down the Colossus and then killed the rest of the units quite easily. Going for the Phoenix was nice with a little bit of harass, but they really didn't do that well. They might have killed one Colossus and probably didn't make up for their cost. The cost of the Stargate plus the cost of all the Phoenix he made. I'm certain they didn't pay for themselves in any way. So good job, Driz T. Good composition for what you're up against, and All Souped Up. All I can say is you have to make better decisions based on what your opponent is doing, and sometimes just knowing what units can do what is part of that, because I know he made these in order to go against the Colossus, but Phoenix is not a good response to Colossus unless you're going double Stargate and you're making like 15 Phoenix. Then they're going to be fast enough to get in, kill a Colossus, get out, get in, kill a Colossus, get out. But then you've got all kinds of other decisions to make, and at bronze level you don't have the micro to be able to handle that kind of stuff, because then you got to use those Phoenix and you have to pick up probes, you have to harass, you got to make them worth their time. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed the game. It was a nice PvP. It's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since we had a PvP, and it's been even longer since we've had a bronze PvP. I can't even remember the last time we did that. All that being said, keep climbing that ladder, and we'll see you next time. Peace.